everyone, and welcome to the 60X Business Show. My name is Kitumaini, and together with my guests, we will have different conversations about business, entrepreneurship, and life. This is the show you've been waiting for. Stay tuned. In today's conversation, I have an amazing entrepreneur. He's an entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur, by the way, an investor, and he's a certified fitness coach. He's also a member of NACA. He co-founded a lot of businesses here in Rwanda, and one of them is Cali Fitness. And in the studio, he's Nandan Ivan Munye. Ivan, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's really a pleasure to have you.
It is a pleasure.
How are you today?
I'm all right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So on the 60X, you'll be spinning the wheel, and randomly we'll select a number, and from there, I'll ask you a question. Are you ready?
Well, I guess so.
What is your lucky number?
I like 7.
7?
Yeah.
Over to you. Let's see if you'll be able to get number 7.
To get 7?
Yeah.
Let me try.
I like the way you're spinning very slow.
It goes really fast.
You got number 9.
I got 9.
Wonderful. Ivan, can you tell me the story behind your personal journey and experience? You've been in these fields for 11 years. Yeah. You've been in Kenya, Rwanda, and Denmark. Can you tell us about your fitness journey?
Yeah, it started here. I started in Rwanda, where I was an athletic guy who does pretty much everything. I played football for pretty much every school I went to. I was an all-round fitness guy, and but then it's not until in my early 20s that I actually started going to the gym and being interested in what happens. And then, like everybody who's curious, of course, the internet was there already. I was looking up things and being interested. I remember being an online member of the Men's Health.
Wow.
Have you ever subscribed on the Men's Health?
No. Can you tell us about that?
It's a magazine, of course. Okay. You know the magazine?
Yeah.
So they have Men's Health. So they have a fitness part, pages actually, many pages about food and nutrition and what to do and blah blah blah. I was doing all that because of my for my own sake, so that I can go to the gym and train better, so that I can eat better, so I can put all those components and then move my needle. But then, as I was training for myself, people liked how probably organized and how I look like I know what I'm doing. Since if you've been to, when you were young, you would just walk into a weight room and then there were like people doing all kinds of things that are not necessarily helping them. Then as a result, people would ask me for free advice. Like I would tell them like, this is how you do a biceps curl, this is how you do this. Stop doing crunches, because if your core is not strong already, you will hurt your back, stuff like that. And that, of course, went on to grow and became a passion to a point where I say that it's actually possible to do, because people would like give me incentives. I was in school, but I remember there were these 2 ladies that would started aligning my training. I was with them, with theirs, and they would tip me something like 5,000 or 2,000. If you're a student, that is very encouraging. So later on, I took on a certification course, and then that is the time I moved to Kenya, and then I moved back here. I became a PT. There wasn't that many personal trainers in the gym, but I would move gym to gyms, so I didn't belong to any gym. But gym owners didn't really fully understood what I do. There was a guy with a clipboard talking to people, taking notes and stuff. And so from there, I took it to where it is now, to falling in love with the to grow the passion enough to even having my own gym and growing a whole community of people who exercise. And now Rwanda has like 1 million personal trainers, and I mean, I exaggerate, but yeah, we are many now.
Wow, that's so amazing. Some viewers, if you just joined now, I'm with Ivan Mounier, who is the founder of Cali Fitness, and he's also has other businesses. He will tell us more about that during the show. But Ivan, I would like to understand when was the time when the idea to start Cali Fitness? You were moving gym to gym, as you said earlier, but what point in time you started Cali Fitness, and what do you think has contributed to your success?
For the inception of the gym in itself, it actually used to have another owner. So, and then I took over when he relocated back to Europe. So he ventured into different things, mainly I think food business, and then it didn't go well. So he left, and then I bought it that time. So what brought it to where it is now? It's the education, it's the passion. It was the first gym, all owned by a fitness trainer. So my day-to-day job is to be on the floor and help people be better. So if I can do it on my space, even the people, I believe somehow that even the people that I don't directly train benefit from that, from the fact that they can give direct feedback to the owner, they can raise a hand if there's a problem that needs to be given to the owner. It's not just that I wasn't there and there was a gym and then I do something else and once in a while look at the bottom line and see if it's profitable. So it's being the fact that I actually go there every 5:30 in the morning and so it makes Cali what it is today, and it's a community that is very close to me. Yeah.
How many members on average do you have now?
About 450.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's really a good number.
It is, yeah.
Let's spin the wheel for another round of question.
Ready?
You got number 9. What's going to be your next lucky number?
Maybe aim for 12. I will go past it and then come back. That was.
Which
I wanted 12.
You wanted 12.
Yeah, it was too
You wanted
fast.
12, and you got.
I got a 7,
7.
which I wanted in the first place. Yeah.
Interesting. If I got number 7, your industry has been affected by the pandemic. That's when we all know. What are the challenges that you basically faced or still facing? How are you navigating all those challenges? And what are some of the lessons that you've acquired that are going to help you move forward?
Yeah, good question. It's a tough time. The pandemic is still around, obviously. And the challenges are so many. But mainly the biggest challenge was closing for so long. So we went into a lockdown. It's one of the businesses that closed with the lockdown, but did not open after the lockdown. So because of the nature of the business in itself, the fitness is considered, at that time it was considered one of the risky places to be at. So we didn't really open directly, and that cost us a lot. We closed for a little more than a year, like a year and a half, a year and 2-3 months. And when you have financial responsibilities like rent if you don't operate in your own building, if you have a payroll, if you want to keep some of the talents you have spent time working on, all that is a challenge. So there have to be some money involved to strive and be alive up to this point. So there are some gyms, there are some businesses, not just in fitness industry, but there are some businesses, restaurants, that have closed, that we liked, that we loved, we wanted, we wish they would have made it past that tough time. But we hear challenges were a lot. We lost people, obviously. If you have someone who works, let's say, at the front desk, who's really talented and you've trained them and people like them, they are used to the clients are used to them, they know how you operate, and then all of a sudden you can't keep them on the payroll because the business is not operational. That's number one, losing talented staff. And then of course the loss of money in itself. We're not working, and it's not like we are posed to zero. We had to sit with the landlord, I don't know how many times, and discuss what is going to be done. Even up to this point, the pandemic has dug a hole in our finances that we haven't filled yet. Yeah.
Interesting.
And I remember there was a second question, which is the lessons we learned from that. Yeah. Obviously, before the pandemic, I was starting slowly to sort of diversify and look left and right and see what other things I can put my hand into. But if there was even an inch of doubt about my ventures before the pandemic, they were so clear during the pandemic. Like it was like very vividly clear that it is what I have to do. Diversifying and invest into other things and find different things to do, so that in case one is closed, the main one is closed, and then you have other things that are probably advantaged, because like the online services, like online subscription services, such as Netflix and Amazon delivery services, those things thrived, like really were doing really well during lockdown. And so yeah, I didn't go far from that area.
Okay.
So diversification is what I actually went into, yeah.
Wonderful.
As a lesson.
Okay. Yeah, it's really an important learnings. A lot of businesses obviously pivoted their businesses. If they have physical products or they have a physical place, they try to leverage the digital, or try to add more other product to the business to keep the momentum, because we've seen the lockdown is still there, and we are all still recovering from it. Ivan, my follow-up question is, you were a serial entrepreneur. You have a lot of businesses that you run. How does it feel to be an entrepreneur, an investor? And on top of that, can you also tell us more about the other ventures that you run, the zucchini basket and the Rwanda fitness culture?
I don't remember the first question.
How does it feel to be
how does it feel to be an entrepreneur? It's just, I mean, it has its own challenges, especially when you are, it's like the conversation we were having earlier before we are on the record. When you start up something, you don't know how much of yourself is in that until you want to delegate, until you want someone else to do some of the things that you want to do. So the challenges are like the fact that you can't do much. I've learned to delegate. It's a good feeling to feel like small businesses are like babies. When you sit and you are a parent of small little things, when they are beings, it's even better. But yeah, it's a good feeling, definitely. And you mentioned Zucchini Basket. It's a company. It's something I wanted to come up with as a solution to address nutrition problems that we face in the fitness industry. You hear so much about these percentages that fitness is 80% nutrition and 20% the gym. Yeah. The whole thing comes from the fact that if you want to do an impact on your body, it starts with what you feed the body. It makes a bigger impact watching what you eat than going to a gym. In fact, if you are like, let's say, skinny and you want to be of a bigger size than you are, if you start by changing how you eat, you're going to have a good change. And if you are on the other side, if you are obese, let's say, and you want to be skinny, if you just make changes in how you eat, before you go to the gym, even without going to the gym, there is going to be a change. And hoping, of course, that your body is going to be in a calorie deficit, like where you are eating less than more than the outputs. So it's nutrition is important. So to address that, I would have problems with people who say, I actually don't want to, I don't know how to eat. Or, Rwandans, not just Rwandans, I mean, people probably from this part of the world where we are lucky to have people who work for us in our homes. So you see people who don't cook. You see people who don't directly engage into what goes into their body, into their health. They are fed things. They go somewhere, if it's at home, if it's at a restaurant, if it's some food is there, you just eat. One, I wanted it to be like a bit of something that can have like educational programs, but also that can have ready-to-eat food that is healthy for on demand. And I've had it for quite some time, even like maybe 5 years before the pandemic. It's after the pandemic that we realized that, okay, maybe we can do grocery delivery services as well. And it was really nice, worked really fine. And from there, we started delivering food. We launched an online platform where you could order food, uncooked food, and healthy uncooked food. And unlike other people that used to have, like, you could order mayo on, we specialized. So we really picked things that we know that help people. And a zucchini basket was born like that. So it went on up to this time where we are less and less on individual and home deliveries. We work mainly with hotels.
Okay, and how can you share more about also the Wonder culture, fitness culture?
Oh, the fitness culture. It's Rwanda Fitness Culture. It's a not-profit that through that we get to give back to the community. We organize non-recreative community fitness events and provide equipment and especially school. We're going to start working with high schools and university kids.
Wonderful. Those are like amazing ventures. Keep it up.
Yeah, thank you. It's where my heart is going, I feel.
Amazing.
In the next couple of years. Yeah.
That's really great.
Yeah.
And my follow-up question is, what is the most common challenge you see people face when it comes to either losing weight or being fit? And what's usually the advice you give to them?
The biggest challenge is the starting point. So we all come from different backgrounds, but the exposure we've got in our life determines whether when you walk into a gym, whether you will start from something or nothing.
Yeah.
So we are. I'm sorry to say, but we are a society that produces some of the unready people for life, if I can say. Not really like you are like a cub of a lion or a baby cow that you need to. No, but in the sense that it's so easy in the gym. I see it all the time. For a 45-year-old woman or man to walk into a gym and it will be their first time to do anything in the name of exercise at all. If we were like back then, probably that man would have hunted. Or he would have been on a hill and then there could be an animal or a lion or something that ran behind him and then he runs. And that is called exercise. But we have people who have never done something like that. And then you come in, let's say a woman in particular, you come in, you have like, let's say 3 kids, you are 45 years old, you've never done an exercise. Even the first 3 months of our training is going to be like more of a behavior change. It's going to be 100% psychological more than physical. To get you to wake up and come to the gym, to get you to find your space in the gym, to get you to be comfortable being told what to do, to get you all those little things. And the biggest challenge, men and female, across all ages, it is the beginning, when it's zero. It's a big challenge. That's why one of my focuses with that nonprofit is going to be planting that training seed in schools, so that by the time you get outside and you face the world, before life gets in the way, before kids, before job, before you start climbing the corporate ladder, at least you have a base, you have a solid foundation. You've trained, you've been part of a training team, you've done something physical, and when you're going to the gym after work, it's not, although you have not probably used the gym, but I would love people to use the gym even before they are 17, so that by the time life gets in the way, you are trying to fight this sedentary life that the modern economy is pushing us into. Then you are not challenged. Then it's a familiar environment. So the biggest challenge, coming back to your question, is the starting point for many. Some people really start really, really low. Okay. And yet they are very, very ahead in their life, in other aspects of their life. Yeah.
So your thought process is like being more conscious about health and working out, being fit. We need to start creating that desire from an earlier age. That's why even from your foundation, you're starting in school so that people can be health conscious from an earlier age, not later when they retire and then it's kind of like a lot of work to be done.
Exactly. Yeah, the older you are, the harder it gets when you're trying to start. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Let's spin the wheel for another round of questions.
Another number?
Yeah. Which one would you like to get this time? Do you remember the one you got before?
Yeah, I've gotten what? Like I just had a 7, and the first one was what? A 9? What was it?
Something on.
I don't remember, but 3 is the first time.
Okay, wonderful. I even got number 3. Can you share with me, from your experience, how do you ensure like your mind stays focused and consistent to workouts every time to reach your goals and desire? Typical example, we know sometimes people, most of us, it has happened to me sometimes, though I'm consistent these days, but you set your goals, we at the beginning of the year, someone can say, this 2022, I want to transform my diet, I want to transform my body, and then the month of January, you push hard, February, you start declining, March, you don't work out. Yeah. How do you personally ensure you keep the focus, the mind, and what usually do you advise your clients?
How do you stay motivated? That's the short version, I think. The truth is, we are humans. We can't always stay motivated. But there is one thing that keeps us going all the time, and that's discipline. You find discipline in all domains, in the military, at work, what you do, somebody at the bank, if you have a set of tasks to do, and some of them you don't like them, or some of them, but you know they are moving you towards a better place that you want to be at. There is that, when you understand the difference between have to and need to, or want to, because want to is very confusing. Sometimes you don't always want to do something. But if you have to, it's a whole other story. It's like a program. You lock into your head and then you just go. And that's the discipline. So how do I stay motivated? It's not always, I'm not always motivated. And what gets me going and gets me achieve things that I have set to achieve is probably the discipline most of the time. So if we are having one-on-one with a client, we talk about goal setting, about how to, and I present what are the patterns that I actually know that make people all predictable setbacks or things that we know for sure will happen. We know for sure like the April commemoration week is a thing, will happen. We sort of slow down. We go into this remembering phase. But it's only a week, and of course we don't stop remembering, but for people use it because we sort of slow down. Thank God the gym is no longer called entertainment, but we used to be in that category of like businesses that kind of gets paused so that we can go past that. But in the head of people, they sort of use it as an excuse, to come back quick enough. They can make it 2 months, saying like, okay, we were in the commemoration week. Or celebrations over the New Year's holidays. You extend more than what you needed, forgetting that you're living before and after the holidays. all those stuff, you just remember that you have goals, and some of those goals are locked in a box of have to, not necessarily things you want to. So if you know you have to do it, you just go and do it. You don't have to be motivated. Yeah, all the time.
Interesting. Yeah. So as you said, as you've heard from Ivan, it's happened. We are all human beings. There are good days and bad days, but you need to know your must have to and what to do.
Wants and have to.
Okay. You need to know the difference between the wants and the have, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And keep knowing your goals to keep pushing ahead. Ivan, my follow-up question is, what are the things that you had no clue about business before embarking onto the business and entrepreneurship journey?
I would say what? Bookkeeping?
Wow.
Maybe. Because if you are a business owner, you need to know your books. You need to, because eventually if you want to grow, probably you will do fundraising. If you can't fundraising if you don't understand the numbers of your books, of your business. But also, what else did I have no clue? I don't know. I would also say that being a one-man show is quite tough when you are when you're running a small and medium enterprise, because you sort of are the director, the HR, the marketing manager, everything, and whatever small you have as a group of people that you work with, that are your colleagues. You are challenged every day because you address those, you are that person that does so many things in one form. And you have to keep your emotional intelligence in check, basically. Like you have to have that empathy. You have to understand that somebody was sick, actually. And so in that case, you are becoming the HR. You're managing people. And then before you know it, there is an event you need to go to represent the company, let's say somewhere, and you are becoming the director. And so being omnipresent, especially in the head, because physically it's impossible, but mainly mentally, is quite challenging. So I had no idea how to be omnipresent mentally.
Okay. Wonderful. 2022, we entered 2022, and people have different goals and plans. What do you have in store for the people, either different programs, things you want to try out? If you can look, if there someone is watching you now, I know a lot of people are watching you now, what message do you have for them, and what's your plan for 2022?
2022, what's in the store is we are really hoping that COVID slows down, or we put it behind us completely, because most of our projects are community projects. So they put people together in a room or outdoors. But when we are planning things and then all of a sudden the COVID regulations are not allowing mass gatherings or stuff like that, so we are a bit behind. We get on the hold. So what's coming is a lot of community-based fitness events, initiatives that are organized at the Cali Fitness or at the national level. Another thing that I'm looking forward to is the project in schools. Very much. I'm excited to go meet the students, see what they already do, and then bring what I've planned already to bring, and train trainers, people who will be the future trainers of in gyms and private studios. I'm excited about that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And let me wrap up this conversation with my last question. If you could start over in business and make money, what business would you start and why?
Real estate, no brainer.
Why?
Risks aren't high. I feel like there's a lot to you get to know a lot before you get into it. There are these businesses you sort of wrap your head around when you are already into it. So I feel like real estate, it's like, I mean, everybody has a thing they know about real estate.
Yeah.
So if there was capital or if I was to start over from scratch, probably, I'll probably do small stuff within the real estate space.
There's still time, so
Who knows,
diversify your basket of your portfolio. Wonderful. Thanks a lot for making it to the show. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you very much, Christian.
Wonderful. And by that, we are coming to the end of this conversation, and my guest was Ivan Mounier, who is the owner of Cali Fitness. He also has other ventures that he manages. The conversation continues on social media using the hashtag 60xbusiness. Till next time, be safe, wear your mask, wash your hands. My name is Kitumaini, and you're watching KC2.